What is going on, guys? Jesse504 here, bringing you the LBT Week 3 feature match featuring FattieJones and Monster Masher. So, this week we got a battle of two really strong teams. Obviously, Fattie is currently 2-0. Monster was 1-1 before recording this battle. And they've both had a pretty successful season. Monster lost a pretty close one, and then Fattie's been just winning a lot, really hard. If we go ahead and look at their teams, the matchup on paper, from Monster Masher's side, the Fall Arbor Flames, that team consists of Mega Latias, Magirna, Celesteela, Cresselia, Galarian Corsola, Incineroar, Decidueye, Complete Zygarde, Alomomola, Raikou, and Lycanroc Day. So it's just a very bulky team, gonna need ways to break it. But Fattie, fortunately, has the offense to be able to break it. His team consists of Mega Blaziken, Duskwing's Necrozma, Genesect, Rotom Wash, Hydreigon, Galarian Weezing, Qwilfish, Lando T, Superior, Stakataka, and Lycanroc Dusk. So, this team is also very threatening because it allows him, he basically has a bunch of threats that need to be prepped for every week. Otherwise, if one of them goes unchecked, then it can win, especially with Mega Blaziken's Speed Pass, basically meaning that any one of his threats can be amplified. And I think he also prepped very well this week. So if we go ahead and look, starting with his Superior, fairly simple set, Taunt, Leech Seed, Leaf Storm, Glare, fairly bulky as well with that 240 HP, but Leaf Storm is really the only attacking move it needs to click. It'll get rolling, and at +6 it'll do a lot to everything. Taunt's a great move against a more bulky team, especially one like Monster Mashers, where you're going to need to be clicking Taunt and then it shuts down 2 or 3, maybe even 4 of the opponent's moves. So that just makes it really nice. Genesect, really nice this week. Bug Buzz, Flamethrower, Ice Beam, U-Turn allows it to start just breaking through things, and the download boost will be nice because if he doesn't get one that's very beneficial, he can just U-turn out. If he gets that special attack one like he wants, it'll do great. And yeah, Flamethrower is really nice for the Celesteela as well as the Magirna. Ice Beam is really nice there for the Zygarde, and then Bug Buzz is very helpful as just a great stab move. Doesn't really need the Steel Stab, can just click Bug Buzz. And obviously this Razor Claw will come into play later, but we can go over that when we get to that. Up next is the Rotom Wash with the leftovers, Levitate for the ability, fairly simple, and then just a Spadef Rotom. Obviously a lot of Monster Masher's threats, especially the Magirna, is special, and this thing just really allows it to shut it down. Additionally, it does great work against the Latias, and T-Wave can cripple both of those threats, as well as Pain Split to heal itself back up. Just a very versatile Rotom this week, just very defensive Rotom. Really helps out with what was needed because most of the rest of the team is just really offensive. And then just having a nice defense and special defense backbone with this Weezing is really nice. Papaya Berry allows it to tank psychic hits from that Mega Latias, and then do a lot back with the Strange Steam. Haze away any boosts, either offensively or defensively, can both really help. And then just Flamethrower, obviously, is there. You always want ways to hit a Celesteela. And as well, Magirna, hitting that thing is really nice. Up next, we got Lando T. Very bulky Lando T this week. Stealth Rock, EQ, U-Turn, Knockoff. I could have seen maybe a Swords Dance Lando T coming into play this week, but I didn't want to do that this week because from what I saw, a Swords Dance Lando T could do really well if past some speed. But this Lando T can still work. Obviously, Intimidate doesn't really help too much, maybe against the Zygarde, but that thing can set up a lot anyways. But still just does what it needs to do. And then lastly, this is where I think the entire team comes together around this Mega Blaziken. The speed boost is really nice to pass away. Additionally, focus energy can be passed with speed in this league. So being able to pass that focus energy to the Genesect and then start critting things down is really helpful because even if Monster Masher starts setting up some cosmic powers, Celesteela, or not Celesteela, Genesect can still hit through those. Additionally, Shadow Claw is a really nice bring to be able to deal with Cresselia as well as Corsola. So having that is really nice. And then obviously Focus Energy, Baton Pass, kind of the bread and butter of this set. And up next, Monster Masher's team brings a very, for his team it's very offensive. First off, he starts off with the Alomomola, which will form his physically defensive backbone, and then Cresselia will be the specially defensive backbone for the team. Wish is really nice, can wish up Magearna very effectively, as well Latias, since it's not running any recovery, can be wished up, and then Raikou, if it needs it, could be wished up, and then Toxic Stall is obviously something that Monster's team is going to need to do well. So having that works tremendously well. And then just Protect, just to do the Toxic Stall. Then I'll go down and talk about the Cresselia next. Just a very bulky Cresselia, another Toxic Stall, Heal Up, and Psychic Mon. Just kind of chip with those attacks, as well as Toxic Stall slowly down. Because Fattie's Steel type is Genesect, and his Poison type is Weezing, and they both came to this game. Toxic Stall, obviously we're going to need another way to win, and that's where the rest of the team comes in. Starting off with this Magearna, excellent prep. Heart Swap to be able to steal the speed boosts, and then Floor Cannon, Ice Beam, Shadow Ball, great rest of the moves, allows it to hit things really hard. Obviously the Rotom can kind of brick wall this set, which is one thing that can be taken into consideration. But other than that, it's just a solid set, really nice tech. And additionally, because it'll also reset the boosts on the other side to 0, as well as taking the boost is really nice, and just hitting insanely hard. Latias, Mega, obviously one of the strongest in the game. Very just fast, hit hard. Aura Sphere, Mystical Fire, Psychic, Shadow Ball just kind of is able to hit the entirety of the team really hard. Because if we look at it, Aura Sphere can hit Fattie's, or Aura Sphere isn't necessary, but it could hit the Hydreigon. Mystical Fire is great for the Genesect, Psychic for the Blaziken, Shadow Ball for the didn't come this week, and then just other than that, really solid. Can chunk everything off of his team, which is really nice. Zygarde or Shadow Ball would have been for the Necrozma had it came, but it did not. Up next, we got the Zygarde, bulky Zygarde this week, and another Toxic Stall Mon. But this week, 1,000 Arrows lets it hit Celesteela, and then Dragon Tail if any setup goes on. That's both of these teams really didn't want the other side setting up clearly, so having this is really nice. And then lastly, just a Life Orb Raikou. Aura Sphere, Scald, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, pretty standard Raikou set. Yeah, let's get into the battle. Alrighty, so let's take a look at this battle. Okay, on team preview, what I see if I am Monster Masher is that based on his team, I thought that he would almost guaranteed lead Raikou just to scout out and Volt Switch. And then from Fattie's perspective, I think a nice Lando T lead is what I would expect, just to sort of set rocks as well as U-turn out, intimidate if Zygarde was the lead, but I don't really think that was very plausible. But I think Lando's a pretty safe lead, if not the Weezing then. So if we look at what they do lead, we see a superior lead, probably predicting something, and then we see the Latias lead. Go hard Magearna turn 1, and just glaring that. That is impactful because now the Magearna can't really do anything. Taunt isn't really that helpful this week. It can speed or heart swap though, but being able to chunk big with Ice Beam is there. So right now, I like what both sides have done. Fattie's kind of played pretty safe, and then trying to make sure that the Magearna can't get fast or anything to start wreaking havoc. Then Monster's just been kind of allowing his Magearna to just get set up. It's paralyzed now, so he probably doesn't value it as highly. So we'll have to see what he does. So switches out here into the Rotom. Obviously, this thing is pretty built to take the Magearna, but still, it's just a Magearna, so that'll always hit really hard. and then goes out into the Cresselia as the Rotom decides to go for Pain Split, healing itself almost to full, and then the Cresselia gets chunked, and now their leftovers goes off, so the Rotom is back at full, which is crazy because it just took a floor cannon. Lando on the crest has the knockoff for it, which is really good, but here comes the Toxic Stall. So, yeah, it's just going to be in a bit of an annoyance. Goes into the Aloe, which is his Fizdef piece of the week. Um, yeah, that was just a fairly safe play against Lando. Gets just some nice U-turn chip off. Goes into the Wheezing to kind of start neutralizing. I don't know. Burn on the Wheezing is kind of annoying, but obviously it doesn't too much matter. Goes for the Protect as Fatty sets T-Spike, so pretty free turn, free T-Spikes for Fatty, which I really like. I mean, obviously I would have clicked T-Spikes there almost guaranteed anyways, but okay, getting the Wish off, so now it's probably going to Protect again, so take your free switch into Superior or take your free T-Spike is what I would have thought. But this thing is just going to be a pain in the ass, but it can't stay in on a Superior. Goes out into the Magearna again. Gets seeded this time. And now Fatty pretty much has to switch out to maintain this, and this time can go into the Genesect, getting an attack boost, which isn't as helpful this week. But nice read, allows it to take the Ice Beam really well, and then get healed almost to full. Now it goes into the Alomomola, as just you can fire off just a U-turn pretty safely there. Wasn't really ready to start breaking yet. So now we're kind of in this lock for a little bit, where Fatty kind of has enough momentum on his team to really go into what exactly he wants to be in on each mon. And then Monster has just enough walls to be able to switch around and tank hits really well. So yeah, at this point, the thing has pretty much revealed all 4 moves because you don't ever see a Superior without a Leaf Storm, which is pretty much its signature. So, paralyzing the Laddie is really helpful. Mystical Fire is solid ring this week, although it is a Superior, so it gets to be boosted off of that. I don't think that was very intended. Now it can Leaf Storm, and now it's at +3. Gonna hit even harder next turn. Protect, obviously, fairly safe from here. Can Leaf Storm or can taunt this Cress. I think taunting this Cress is fairly safe. Yeah, and now the Cress can really not do anything. It can Psychic, but that won't even be for too much damage, especially seeing how defensive the Superior is. Yeah, 24%, but afterwards it's going to get healed up almost all of that, up 22%. So like now this thing's just churning through, and now you have an almost maxed out Superior ready to just punch holes in the team. Because at max special attack at +6, even the things that resist it don't want to take it. Taunts again, but the Protect obviously, and then Crest dies to Seeds, which is really nice. Now you have a Superior at +5, and Magearna, it can threaten with Ice Beam, but it's not going to die, the Superior. Full Para is kind of unlucky for a monster, but at the same time, Serp wouldn't have been dead. But yeah, you see how crazy that Leaf Storm is. Heart Swap gets those attack boosts though, but ends up dying to Seeds. I thought that was pretty nice tech. However, at least it reset the special attack. But it ended up dying, not able to really capitalize on that. But this Latias is really a threat because nothing really wants to switch into that Psychic other than maybe the Lando T, but even then, it's just something that has to be worked around because at this point you don't really have anything that can reliably turn 1 just outspeed it, so I think you have to go. I don't know if swapping was the best play there because you're faster and you kill, so I'm not really sure why swapping there was necessary. Although, I guess maybe you didn't want to get worn down anymore. Focus Energy's up in front of the Alomomola. I thought was pretty safe because can't get burnt off the Scald and it's fairly weak. and now you're ready to pass if you need to, and if not, you can just start damaging things. Shadow Claw, high crit chance, obviously buffed. So now on this obvious protect, he could switch out if he wanted to, or baton pass, I mean, which is exactly what he does going into the Genesect, I presume. Yep, the Genesect, which now is also boosted in special attack too. So now, what do you do against this Genesect? You lose, which is really unfortunate, but yeah. Um, yeah, at this point, nothing can really live these hits, and Fatty kind of uses his great prep and uses his great just prep and play all game to just get that 6-0 win. I felt that was a pretty deserved win. Um, yeah, he definitely played well, deserving that win. Great, obviously exemplary play from Fatty's side. Shows exactly what you need to do the 6-0s, which is keep your Mons alive, really build so that any one of the Mons can, like what Fatty did, he basically, he had that nice defensive backbone on his team, and then pretty much 4 of his Mons were just defensive, and then the Blaziken or the Genesect just threatened to win at any point in the game, which was kind of crazy, yeah. The focus energy passing really ended up working, paying off, which was really nice. But yeah, solid prep from both sides, but then Fatty just kind of popped off and really won that game, I feel. So Monster didn't mess up. I feel like he was playing pretty well the entire game. Maybe the Latias switch shot was the one thing I would have changed. But other than that, I feel like that was his only real main misplay. But other than that, he played well. Fatty just kind of went crazy, making the right reads and stuff, able to win that one. So I'll be bringing you guys my Week 4 battle when it comes out, when I play it. But until next time, Jesse504, out.